All right, folks. I just got into a conversation with a very close friend of mine. I'm trying to write out my log real quick for a second here. Uh-oh, my seatbelt's all jacked up. All right. So I'm starting my trip out real quick, but I was having a conversation with a close friend of mine, and she's a female, and it was really bothering her with the turmoil within a relationship. That are going on, obviously, between her and her man. And I know you're not supposed to do that. And I know that's not something you're supposed to do. You know, as a female to a male friend, you're not supposed to confide in that fashion, if that's the right way to say it. But I know that's not right. But, I mean, you know, she's a friend. And it's not like she was saying, hey, I don't like my husband, give me your penis. That's not what was going on. We're just having a conversation, and that got brought up. So she was talking about that, and let me tell you something. It's super windy today, but so if you hear any crazy wind or anything like that coming up because I'm taking off, then that's what it is. I'm in Dow's, Iowa, wherever that's at. Nobody knows because nobody lives here. But so I was talking to this female friend. She was telling me how, I was thinking about, how, what's the next step is because we're really not getting along and things are really not going the right way, but I don't want to hurt him and this, that, and the other. It was all about, making sure that he's okay or, him and his heart and everything. Now listen, the whole time she was saying this shit, and I'm not trying to be mean to my friend, but I was thinking about, because I've been through, the shit relationships, the good relationship. I've been through it all. Don't get me wrong. I'm fucking 32 years old now. And I've been through all the damn relationships. The good, the bad, and ugly. And so she started carrying on about, this, that, and the other, about how to go about things, and everybody's going to be all fucking sad. Well, here's the deal. And this is what I've experienced, and this is kind of what I told her, and she swears up and down she doesn't believe a damn word I'm saying. But, hey, a lot of people just listen to my shit and carry on. But for me, and for a lot of people that I know, this is how it goes. You come home from work, on the first day of the breakup, you got two directions you can go. You can go left, you can go right. And it's two completely opposite directions, obviously. But the deal is, the one way you go, it's, you go gather up all the memoirs, belongings, and things of that nature, and you sit on the fucking floor and cry about all of them, right? So that's what everybody thinks happens. Honestly, none of that actually ever fucking happens with men. We go home. I'm running over myself here. Hang on. The grieving process, per se, for men is spread out far and wide throughout his whole day. He's doing stuff, and then, something will catch his eye during the day, and he'll say, damn, yeah, I bet old girl would like that because, we used to be together. Shit, I miss that girl. All right? Part of the grieving process. That's what they go through, right? And we're like, all right, that's what we do all day long. Until suddenly one day it just isn't there anymore. Now, that's one direction you could go. Grieve it. Be sad about it. Bullshit. Who cares? Whatever. You sit there at the fucking house. You don't ever watch TV. You don't ever go out with nobody. You do that for about 3 months. Now, let's talk about how Shannon grieves. Let's talk about how I grieve. We go home. Now we're going the other direction. All right? This is the way you're supposed to do it. And this is the way that I referred my friend to what's going to happen if she did leave her man. And she swears up and down. She doesn't believe me. She said that's not what will happen. She said that first way is the way he'll go. So, okay. I feel like I need to talk to the man, though, because if this does happen and she does leave him, hey, this is how you do it, brother. And I'm all for it. You guys know me. You know me from top to bottom. When it comes to the male and female side of things, I'm always on the male side. I'll help them out, teach them how to do shit, teach you how to be happy being alone. Because that's the fundamental essence of life. If you can figure out how to be happy single, then you have got it figured out. Bottom line, I don't care about your material shit. I don't care about your current relationship, past relationship. You shouldn't either. None of that shit matters. If you're happy alone, by yourself, single, then you are good. Now, that being said, don't leave your fucking girlfriends and don't leave none. I'm happy with my girl. We're happy together. However, if I left her or she left me, we would be fine. But we just don't want to leave each other. That's why we're in a relationship. We don't want to leave each other. All right? It's not that we are relying on each other so we have to stay together. That's not how this is working. You know, I want to be with her. She's fun. She always makes my day better. And I enjoy being around her. And she hasn't said anything or done anything that I don't agree with. I mean, don't get me wrong. We don't have this fucking, fairy tale relationship. We have disagreements, but it's not enough that we have different lifestyles. Anyway, I'm getting off track. So you can go right into this depression stage, or you can go left into the stage I'm about to explain now. All right, you go home, get off work. This is the men now. We go home, we get off work, and we're like, shit. My girl left me, man. I got a whole weekend ahead of me, and I'm not going to right. I'm not going to that depression shit. So what am I going to do? I'm going to buy, let me think it out now because I'm playing this out as I go. This is me single. I got to switch into a mindset and say it. I go home, buy a bottle of, insert your favorite alcohol here. Now, we got the bottle. We got to have something to mix it with. I go get something to mix it with. Now, I'm a gamer. You all know I play World of Warcraft, and I fucking love it. It's the core of my soul. Got a tattoo on my arm. So I love World of Warcraft. I may not be the greatest at it, but I love it. And that's a lot of things in life. But anyway, so I like playing World of Warcraft. I'll come home, I get me a bottle. I'll grab me something to mix it with. So let's just go with some rum and some Coke. And we go home. We got that. All right? Got that covered. So now we don't have to just sit there, And you can take a couple. I'm not talking about getting fucking drunk now. I'm not talking about getting shit-faced like some sappy asshole, Not like that. I'm talking about having a couple sips to ease your mind, Be safe with this shit now. Don't be getting all drunk. That ain't what we're talking about. We're talking about having a couple little sips. Get loose, You're playing games. Your mind's not on it, Your mind is in, hey, we're having a couple drinks. Maybe you have an online game. Maybe you're playing something where you talk shit with a headset on. All right, you get in there, you come home. First thing you do, mix yourself a drink, get on your game, and start banging it out. And, let's say you get a text message from a buddy, heard you got a breakup, what the hell's going on? Hope everything's all right. Hey, man, don't worry about it. Everything's fine. You want to come over and chill, have a couple of drinks. I got this, that, and the other. Maybe bring some friends. We'll talk about it. Have a couple of drinks about it. Maybe party a little bit. We'll all grab a remote, play some fucking Call of Duty, whatever we got to do. Bang out some beer pong, whatever. And you can do that. And then, girl finds out you're single or whatever. She's like, oh, my God, you guys have been together forever. What happened? And then you tell her, oh, man, she broke my heart, and this, that, that. Next thing you know, that side of things. So you're going good. And that's how you go the other way, okay? You do not have to sit there and sulk about nothing, all right? You go the other way, and I'm not saying use alcohol for a crutch. I'm using it for just what everybody uses alcohol for. Just get a little loose, you know? Have your friends over, man. Use friends. That's what friends are fucking for. Literally, I'm not trying to be a cliche, but that's what friends are for. You know? You got a buddy who you talk to about everything that has nothing to do with a breakup. Now, when you do have a breakup, you have someone there to speak with you about it. And I'm not talking about through text message and Facebook and Messenger and all that shit. I'm talking about a friend. Hey, come over, smoke a couple fucking joints or drink some beer or whatever. I got some shit I got to get off my chest. All right? Your buddy comes over. You're like, man, I did not like the way she did this. Now, listen now. This is what I'm saying I did not like about her. So we don't talk about how, oh, man, the way she used to hug me and have dinner ready. No. The guy doesn't want to hear that. He wants to hear the dirt on this bitch. All right? So you say, listen, man, take a shotty or whatever you're drinking. This girl used to do this, that, and the other, and she had stinky feet. You know, whatever the fuck you could say to make you and him laugh about this bitch and get her off of your mind, out of your spot, you know. But that's the other way to go, man. You can't be sulking about it and crying about it. But the biggest thing is go home and game it out, man. I don't care if you don't have any alcohol or you're too young to drink, whatever. Just go home, game it up, call your buddies, you know, maybe find a side piece. Some of us aren't really into that. That's kind of what, you know, I was saying that for the sake of how normal dudes are, but I'm not really the type of dude to grab a side piece. But, you know, in the midst of a breakup, I'd rather just be alone. I mean, I don't even know if I would really call friends on the first day. Maybe give it a couple of days, 3 days. But just live and let it sink in. You know, let your lifestyle and mind change, you know, back into being single. Not in a sulking, depressed way. I'm talking about just let your mind change, because there's like a change that happens. You know, normally you have a routine in your mind and it doesn't change because you come home and you say hi to her and maybe you fight or you talk or you do this or that. It always has something to do with her. But let your mind change that's all internal now. You don't have someone to bounce back and forth with on that. Let me tell you something else. You don't have somebody else. Now, a lot of you guys have dependent women. And got to be honest with you, man. I've had it both ways. Well, now I have. But independent woman, now, okay. You have independent woman and I'm an independent woman. Like that. Okay, there's two differences right there now. What I have is an independent woman. Like she works, has a job, has better credentials than I do. She's younger than me. And she pays her own bills. Like we split everything. And, you know, she's okay with that. Now, then there's the other independent woman. And I'm an independent woman. You know, that shit, that means she's not independent whatsoever. And she just doesn't want you to tell her what to do. Like that's just two different ones. Now, I have the real independent woman. The one that doesn't need anything from a man, but is not an ultra feminist. You know, she likes being the girl and having a guy. Now, the difference between independent woman and a dependent woman is a vast difference. There's huge differences. Now, if you have a woman that is dependent, the breakup is going to be a lot easier. A lot easier. When 2 months later you look at your bank account. You follow me? Because when you look at that bank account and you have triple what you normally would have, that's a good feeling. And you get a euphoric feeling in your mind when you see those numbers and you're like, holy shit, this is awesome. Thank God. Like, and it really helps with the breakup. It does when you break up with a dependent woman. Now, that's something that makes her try to climb the walls to get back, but don't ever take her back. I mean, once you throw trash into a trash can, I mean, you don't go out there and dig shit back out. And the thing about if you lose an independent woman, because you're not going to break up with an independent woman. I don't know why you would, unless she's a complete asshole. Because an independent woman is like the most attractive thing ever. I mean, she doesn't need anything from you. She just wants you to be around. So you can't fuck that up, unless you're a dick. But in that case, you would lose the independent woman. But so that's a little harder because your bank account doesn't change. All it is she's just not around. Now, so there's several different branches and scenarios of how that could go. So whenever my friend, back to the original story, whenever my female friend was like, I know for a fact that he would be the guy that sulked around. Maybe because my friend is an independent woman. She can do everything on her own. But she, I think she's a little mistaken because guys tend to do this thing when they do want their woman back. They act like their world is falling apart. And that's how they act around that woman specifically. And the reasoning for that is to make her feel like he needs her, you know? And I think in their case, and I don't know, maybe he is a little depressed or whatnot. I don't really know the guy as much as I know her. But, I wish I could just suggest to him, being that him and I were on a personal level, that, if all this did go down, fuck it, man. Just, go to the left. Don't go to the right. I got another buddy that's going to the left, man. I talked about him in the last podcast. House. Another shout out to House. Haven't talked to him in a while, buddy. But, yeah, he goes to the left, man. The girl called him. She's a dependent. She's not independent. And, she called him up one day and was like, it's over. And he was like, all right, get your shit and get the fuck out of my house. And she did. And like I said, he's coming home from Bahrain. It's right next to Iraq over there. He's deployed. And he's gonna come home. And here was his trick. I hate to put your shit out there, buddy, but he told her to get all of her memories, anything that would cause a memory, out of his house before he got home. And I agree with him. The only thing guys like us need: washer and dryer, bed, gaming system, entertainment system, couch, love seat. Boom. We can get the rest. Don't worry about dishes. Don't worry about the dining table. None of that shit. I can get all that. Don't worry about that. But anything that reminds me of you, get that shit out of my house. So, he's going to come home. He'll be out of the military, and he's going to get a regular job and be making a decent amount of cash, and he's going to go left, man. He's going to get those mixed drinks, smoke a couple fucking numbers, and game it up. Hell, I don't blame him. That's the easiest way to go, man. And I know it sounds a little harsh. Maybe it sounds a little harsh. I mean, to all guys, I guarantee you it sounds good. I mean, there isn't a guy out there that doesn't agree with me when it comes to shit like that. I mean, there's these guys out there that work their ass off, and yeah, they're a down-home family man and shit. But when it comes to a woman leaving you, like inevitably leaving you, then what are you going to do? You going to piss and moan about it? You going to haul ass and fucking take off and do whatever you want to do? I mean, think about it. And I'm not trying to get anybody to break up, but dudes, listen. If you're in a shitty relationship, you got a woman that's controlling, and I want to say controlling, but honestly, it's an illusion. No one controls you. It's an illusion. No one controls you in any way, shape, or form. There's nothing that... There's no one to stop you. Sorry, I was checking my phone. But there's no one to stop you from doing what you want to do. You know? If you're hating every damn second of your life with this woman, and you've been with her for 10 years, you've been with her for 9 years too long, brother. Just get the fuck out. I don't care, man. I pay child support too. I pay like close, $400 and something a week in child support. Think I give a fuck? No. I mean, it'd be nice to have that $400 back, but I'd much rather be without the female. You know what I'm saying? Like the girl or girls that I was with, I got 2 baby mamas, but the 2 girls that I was with, man, they're fucking pieces of shit. I mean, literally. And what they've done with their lives from this point, or from that point till now, nothing. They're still worthless. I hope they're listening to this. Fuck you, if it's you. But yeah, I got out, man. I didn't like it. I mean, one of them was a child abuser, and I'm not going to get into my life. But, it's just shitty people. But, yeah, if you're 10 years deep, man, and you're unhappy, don't think you got to stay there just because, she says you do. I mean, that's not how it works. Just take that shit and tell her, look, I had enough of your shit. I'm out. And she's going to say, but what about the kids? Well, I'll see them on the weekend. Yeah. That's how every kid's growing up in America nowadays anyway. I mean, the whole fucking idea of being a father nowadays, shot to hell. You know what it means to be a dad in America right now? You're not in charge of shit. You don't run nothing. I mean, you got... What is it? Hey, let's talk about it. You're a dad, right? You're in a good relationship. Quotes, air quotes. Good relationship. You go in there and... I mean, some of these guys are happy. I've seen the guys. I want to do everything for my wife. She's real good to me, and I love my kids. Yeah, that's great. Now, the reality is the majority. All right? So you are the few and far between. The reality is, you come home from work, and you want to come inside, you want to take your fucking boots off, and I'm taking a page from someone else's book right now that I speak to. And you want to kick your boots off at the door, and you want to take your socks off when you're sitting on the couch. Maybe if you're a uniform kind of guy, take your uniform off, throw it on the couch, and kick back and watch some football, man. Grab a fucking beer out of the fridge, right? Yeah, kids are, just getting out of school, or they're, they've been at the house and they're in their rooms or outside playing or whatever. You say hi to them and shit, and everything's great. Well, now you got the fucking enemy inside the fucking house that's telling you, hey, pick your uniform up, straighten your boots out, put your socks in the dirty laundry, this, that, and the other, and I'm trying to cook dinner, turn the TV down, just micromanaging the fuck out of you when you get home to the point where you want to go back to work. You know what I'm saying? And that's not okay. That's not a good relationship. You want to come home and, she hasn't been working. I mean, this is the dependent type woman. She hasn't been doing anything. All she's doing is telling you that, what you need to do when you come home. I mean, we're men. We're not fucking pets. We're not doing anything wrong. Some of these guys, like the guy I'm talking about, he takes his uniform off. He doesn't get home, till 8 o'clock at night. And I take your uniform off, go to bed. You got to wake up, put the same motherfucker back on. So you might as well just leave it wherever the hell it's at. Yeah, then you got your gamer guys, come home and I was listening to another podcast, to be honest with you, and I'm kind of taking this from them, but and then not really, but the guy's wife says every man needs cave time, and it's ever since I heard that I was like, that is 100% right. Every man needs that 45 minutes to 2 hours to just be left alone. I'm going into this area of the house and I need to be left alone. I need to think about bills. I need to think about, the game. I need to think about what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm just doing me. I don't need all your shit. And every woman gets that too. The kids go to school, the dad goes to work. She has woman time. Maybe she's got to run around, pay a couple bills, but she's got from 8 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock in the afternoon to do what she needs to do. We're just asking for an hour, 2 hours. But, these kind of situations are really tricky, though. When it comes to being happy, and I can't help but only speak from the men's side of things. I don't really know much about the female side. I do understand your frustrations, your, not putting your boots in the right spot when you come home, but I give it a fucking rest, all right? But as far as the male side of things, guys, if she's hounding the fuck out of you and she's been doing it for 9 years and you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Honestly, you don't have to do it. So just try to figure out what you're doing, man, and make your own decisions. Don't go through life thinking, honestly, this goes both ways. Male and female. You're tired of fucking cooking for his ass, and maybe you're the only one paying bills. Maybe he's just sitting on his ass. And maybe you need to get the hell out. But either way, this is the reality of marriage at this point. And I can't help but look at the statistics and see that that's the majority of what's going on. Everybody that's in a good relationship is going to look at this and be like, that's not how it is, but you're basing it off of your relationship, and that's not the reality of it. Your relationship's one of the lucky ones. But in reality, it's what I've explained. That's all I got to say for now. But, keep that shit in mind. I'm heading into Iowa, and I gotta pull over somewhere. I gotta take a piss. All right. That is my take on that. See ya.